Hey, we finna jump right into it. God, in the name of Jesus, we give you all praise, all glory, all honor. We thank you for who you are. Thank you for what you've done. Thank you for sending your son. Thank you for redeeming us, reaching out your hand and rescuing us, Lord. As I speak, Lord, I just pray that you guide my speech, guide my words, give me what you would have me to say. I pray for prophetic utterance, Holy Ghost inspiration. Just let it come forth from your heart and your mind. Reveal yourself through me. Don't let it be me, but may it be your spirit speaking through me, Lord. Let me open up my mouth as the oracles of God and speak what you'd have me to say in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. Yeah, so this time around, man, the word of the Lord start coming to me on Monday. You know what I'm saying? And most of what he was giving me, it had to do with relationships. You know, he speaks to me in the context of what I'm living, the context of what I'm going through. You know what I'm saying? Giving us wisdom, giving us guidance. And you know what I'm saying? I know when I'm going through something, the stuff that he speak to me, it could possibly help other people too. I don't consider myself to be an expert, you know what I'm saying, but I am living and learning, you know what I'm saying, and some stuff you didn't get it right the first time around, you know what I'm saying, and you catch it on the second time around, and some stuff you just have to experience, but when you go through an experience, you come out with more knowledge and more wisdom than what you had before, you know what I'm saying, so most of what he was giving me, everything had to do with relationships. But if I be a man of God, he gonna throw in some other stuff too, as I'm speaking. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so we finna dive right into it. I got my little notes with my all my little topics and thoughts that he was giving me. You know what I'm saying? But the first thing that he gave me, you know what I'm saying, is dealing with flaws, dealing with faults and flaws in a person. See, the game is tricky in relationships. You know, you have to have a certain amount of patience, a certain amount of grace in dealing with the other person. Because check this out. They got flaws, right? Or they might do something that you don't like or something like that. It could be a flaw or it could be an action or it could be an attitude. It could be anything. But I'm talking about giving grace to your partner, to the person that you in relationship with. You know what I'm saying? You have to give that person grace because check this out. You got flaws. You got issues. You know what I'm saying? You not always on your best leg. You know what I'm saying? On your best foot. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, this is what God showed me though. You know, we're lenient on ourselves because your flaws, you might not even consider it a flaw. But even if you consider it a flaw, you're comfortable with your own flaws. You're comfortable with your own issues because you're used to it and you know the why behind it. Like, I'm like this because of this, or I deal with situations like this because of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to your flaws, you got understanding behind it. You know why you are the way you are, even if it's a flaw. You know why you do what you do. You're comfortable with your own flaws. You know what I'm saying? Because you have the understanding behind it, or you're just used to it. And we can be soft on ourselves. But then when it comes to another person's flaws, you know, we can get offended and we can really take issue and really have a problem with somebody else's flaw. And we don't know the understanding behind it. Well, this person's like this because of that, or they do this because of that. But when it comes to your own flaws, you know exactly why you do what you do, even if it's not quite right. You know what I'm saying? You know why you do what you do, but you don't know why the other person do what they do. And you're used to your own flaws and you're comfortable with your own flaws because you probably been like that for a long time. You know what I'm saying? But when that other person, when they flaws show up, you get offended. I'm finna cut this person off. I'm finna get away from this person, or I'm finna tell them about theyself. And we don't always give other people the same kind of grace that we give ourselves. And sometimes in a relationship, that person might give you grace with your flaws, but you might not give them the same kind of grace with their flaws. Because 9 times out of 10 in a relationship, if one person is doing something that the other person don't like, well, that person is probably doing something that the other person. If one person is doing something that another person don't like, they're both probably doing things that each other don't like. But one person is just giving more grace. You know what I'm saying? Especially if your cutoff game's strong. But when it comes to relationships, you know what I'm saying? Everything ain't worth cutting a person off for. Some things is real serious, and you can exercise your cutoff game. But if your cutoff game too strong, you gonna cut people off for a reason that really wasn't even worth cutting them off for. And then you keep that cutoff game with everybody, you gonna end up by yourself. You ain't gotta, you can have a strong cutoff game with people, what I'm saying? But when it comes to relationship, if your cutoff game too strong, you're going to end up by yourself, because every person is going to do something that you don't like, say something you don't like. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody perfect, and even the one with the strong cutoff game, they not perfect either. It's just that the other person, they cutoff game wasn't the same as your cutoff game. They more patient, and they willing to deal with your flaws more than you willing to deal with their flaws. So, and I'm telling you, and my cutoff game strong. So this is how, this is stuff that I learned. You know what I mean? This is stuff that I learned. But the first subject was about flaws. You know what I'm saying? And let me mark them off as I go so I can put them in the description on the YouTube video. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? And another thing, when it come to changing, well, I ain't gonna talk about that. I ain't gonna talk about that yet. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to the flaws, man, you know what I'm saying, you have to talk it out. You know what I'm saying? You gotta work, man. Relationships take work. It takes work. But yeah, okay, I got a good one. I got a good one. You know what I'm saying? Being solid. Now check this out right here. Talking about being solid, right? Now, in most situations, you have to be solid for your partner to be solid. Especially as a man, because the man, you know what I'm saying, is normally the leader in the relationship. So check this out. If the man is out of pocket, the woman see that the man is out of pocket, and she gonna get out of pocket. Now, there's some, and when I say being solid, I just mean with your flaws, with your character. I really mean working on the relationship. If the man is doing something to disrespect the relationship, in most cases, then the woman gonna start doing stuff to disrespect the relationship. If the man, and I'm gonna get into this too, if the man cheating and flirting, you know what I'm saying, in most cases, the woman gonna start cheating and flirting. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But it don't have to be that. That's an example. But you know what I'm saying? If one person ain't solid, the other person ain't gonna be solid. If one person ain't trying to be solid, you know what I'm saying, they doing something that's disrespecting the relationship, and they not really trying to fix it. And another thing about relationship, you have to know what's expected. You have to know what a person's expectations are. That's really when you talk about marriage and stuff like that. But you know what I'm saying? But whatever the expectations are, like faithfulness and stuff like that, right? Not just the act of cheating, but all the stuff that leads up to it, the flirting and all that kind of stuff, right? Talking to other people on the phone and, stuff like that, right? So if the man is doing that kind of stuff, then most of the time the woman gonna start doing that kind of stuff. Now, there are cases where a man can be solid and do everything that he supposed to do right, and the woman still ain't gonna do right. And there's cases when the man ain't even, he just straight up disrespecting the relationship, but the woman still stay solid and she don't be doing stuff to disrespect the relationship. But both of those situations are rare. Most of the time it's one person that's disrespecting the relationship, and it don't have to be cheating and flirting. It could be something else. You know what I'm saying? It could be other things, but that's what I got in my mind. So that's what I'm gonna use as my example. Anything that a person is expected to do though, you know what I'm saying, as far as working on the relationship and building the relationship, if one person is just disrespecting the relationship, you know, that's just like I use this for instance. Say a man, a woman feel like that man should work. A woman feel like that man should have a job. Okay. So if that man is not trying to work, and I ain't talking about you really looking for a job, you know what I'm saying? But the woman is on the dude head about you need to get a job, you need to work, you need to get some kind of bring in some kind of income. The woman carrying the whole load by herself, right? This is an example. And the man just like he not trying to do nothing. He not trying to get no job. He not trying to work, right? So that's disrespecting the relationship because that's what the woman want him to do, and and he just like nah, I'm not finna do that. So he disrespecting the relationship. So that that woman gonna start disrespecting the relationship. You know, when all these dudes with money is trying to holler at her, you know what I mean? She might not just be cheating, but she might be giving out the number. She might be, you know what I'm saying, entertaining conversation with these dudes that's talking about giving her money and dudes who got money and you know what I'm saying? So just stuff like that. When the dude out of pocket, the female gonna start getting out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how it go, man. It's very rare that a dude can be out of pocket and the woman ain't finna get out of pocket. She just gonna be 100% in pocket, doing everything right, ain't disrespecting. Nah, if one person disrespecting the relationship, in most cases, the other person gonna start disrespecting the relationship. But it's many ways to disrespect the relationship. If your partner come at you and they like, you know, you need to do this, and it's for the sake of the relationship, you know what I'm saying? Like, and a person just won't get with it, then that other person gonna start doing it could be different things. You know what I'm saying? Like the situation is different, but I hope you get the point that I'm making. If one person is not doing what they need to do to help the relationship to grow and be a healthy relationship, then that other person gonna start, you know what I'm saying, doing some stuff that's disrespectful to the relationship. If one person disrespecting, the other person gonna disrespect. How many people you really gonna slap on one cheek and they really gonna turn the other cheek without trying to get no type of get back, payback, revenge? You know what I'm saying? And there's warfare against relationships, but you really do it, and everybody done heard it before. You really got to communicate. You really got to come up with a game plan. You really have to be interested in pleasing one another. You know what I'm saying? You have to be interested in meeting each other's expectations. You know, and I'm telling you, man, it's kind of deep, man. But I think I made that point. You know what I'm saying? It's different ways it can go. Cause if a man disrespecting the relationship, the woman might disrespect the relationship in the same way that the man doing it, or she might disrespect the relationship in a different kind of way. But either way, she gonna allow herself to start disrespecting the relationship because the man been disrespecting the relationship. You know what I'm saying? And normally I think men got the best cutoff game because a woman, you know what I'm saying, a woman, instead of just cutting it off, a lot of times a woman she'll just start disrespecting the relationship herself instead of just cutting off the relationship. But I think we more just to just let's just end it. You know what I'm saying? Or at least that's how I am. You know what I'm saying when it comes to relationship. But I done learned a thing or two. You know what I'm saying? I done learned a thing or two. You know what I'm saying? I done learned a thing or two. Uh yeah. And then I seen situations where like a woman just getting totally disrespected and she stayed solid. And then I and I thought I could do that and be like, it's my way. You know what I'm saying? I'm disrespecting the relationship. It's my way. This what it is. And then you think she's still gonna be solid, and you find out nah, she wasn't solid either. You know what I'm saying? She started disrespecting the relationship. I had a failed marriage before. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? What my wife was trying to tell me, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't trying to hear it. And then even in the relationship I'm in now, you know what I'm saying, we made a bounce back from a breakup, but I was disrespecting the relationship. I'm finna go and get into this thing too. I was disrespecting the relationship. You know what I'm saying? I got into that flirting, but I ain't gonna lie. I thought flirting was harmless. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought flirting was harmless. You know what I'm saying? But it's not. You know what I'm saying? Flirting is not harmless, man. you know, uh, flirting establishes a connection. You know what I'm saying? I got a song, and this one I was on my player stuff. I got a song called Spazzing Out. And I got a line in the song. I said something about research, but then I said we flirt to see which chicks is choosing. She my dessert. And but yeah, flirting can establish a connection. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, flirting really establishes a lust connection, because if you attracted to a person, if there's an attraction there and you flirting and they flirting, then that right there, that's all it takes to establish a connection. You know what I'm saying? And then you build on the connection. You know what I'm saying? But that don't mean just because you flirting, you gonna actually cheat. But it's not harmless, because once you establish a connection with another person, then when you and the person you in relation, when watch this, when you establish a connection with somebody outside of your relationship, then when your relationship start getting tough or you hit a rocky place, instead of applying all that energy in the working out what you need to work out in the relationship, in your mind you basically got a plan B. So it's like I can put in this work and really try to make it work with my plan A, or I can just let the plan A go and switch over to the plan B. That can happen when you establish a connection outside of your relationship. And it can start with flirting. Cause in your mind, once that connection is established, oh yeah, she digging me. And then I'm digging her. But that ain't the one you in relationship with. So you try to keep some type of boundaries on it, cause you still in relationship. If you even halfway trying to be faithful. If you trying to be faithful. Some people ain't even trying to be faithful, but if you trying to be faithful, then you establish a connection with another person, but you kind of want to keep some boundaries on that. You ain't trying to really go there with it, but you done established the connection with somebody, right? So then when you and the person you in relationship, when that person start getting on your nerves and they flaws offend you and you ain't feeling it, and you know what I'm saying, all that, instead of putting in that work to try to work that out, you like, shoot, I got a plan B. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't finna put all this energy into plan A. I'm finna check out plan B. You know what I'm saying? So, and all that can come from flirting. You know what I'm saying? Flirting helps you to establish a connection. Matter of fact, flirting is one of the main things you use if you single. You know what I'm saying? And you trying to see what's up. You might flirt a little bit, see how the chick respond. Like, that's one of the main tools you use when you single to pull a chick, is flirting. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, in a relationship, flirting, it might seem like it's harmless if you keep it confined under certain limits or boundaries, but it gives you once a connection is established, then it's like you got another option. You know what I mean? So I ain't gonna lie though. I really thought it was harmless, but it ain't. It ain't. You know what I'm saying? it can help motivate you to give up on your relationship because something else done caught your eye. You know what I mean? So that's what I got to say about flirting. You know what I mean? Uh, when it comes to relationships, you got to be compatible. You know what I'm saying? You need to be equally yoked. If you're a Christian, then you know what I'm saying, you know the word say 2 Corinthians 6. You know what I'm saying? You need to be equally yoked with another Christian. But I'll say this too. In Christianity, there's levels though. There's levels to everything. You know what I'm saying? All I can say is that they need to have a real relationship with God. Cause I used to feel like this, you know, that person got to be filled with the Holy Ghost. They got to, you know what I'm saying? They got to have this and that. They got to be on this level. They got to be in the word. Like I'm in the word. Like I ain't going to really say that though. You know what I'm saying? But they need to be a believer. They need to be open to the things of God. They need to have a real relationship with God. You know what I'm saying? You need to be compatible. But compatibility is not just spiritual. Compatibility is how you function with each other on the day to day. You know what I'm saying? On the day to day, you need to be compatible. You need to be able to function on a day to day basis. You know what I'm saying? That's everything. That had to do with kids. That have to do with personality. That have to do with habits. A person might have some type of habit like, nah, I can't deal with that. You know what I'm saying? The situation with kids. If both people got kids and both people got custody, then your kids need to be able to mix. You know they gon' everything ain't gonna be perfectly smooth, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, they need to be able to mix uh yeah, personality. You know what I'm saying? One person might be real outgoing, another person might be real quiet, but if a person really on some antisocial stuff, then they may not mix with an outgoing person or a person who want to be around a lot of people or have a lot of people in the house come into the house and you antisocial, then you can't you know what I'm saying? Like it ain't just spiritual things, but you have to be compatible. You have to be compatible. Some things you can flex, you can be flexible with, but then some things you might just take a hard stand on, like, nah, you know what I mean? And then if you really serving God, then you don't want to be with somebody that's gonna keep you from serving God or keep you from doing the work that God have for you to do. But both of y'all don't have to be preachers, or both of y'all don't have to be evangelists. You know what I mean? So both of y'all don't have to be prophets, but you know what I'm saying? You got to have a real relationship with God. You know what I mean? And then another thing about relationships, you know what I'm saying? It takes prayer. You have to cover the relationship in prayer. Relationships don't just run on automatic. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if you're a Christian and you trying to find the right person, or you trying to make something work, then there is warfare. Now, some people be, in my opinion, some people be too worried about the devil though. They worried about bloodlines and generations, and ain't nobody worried about all that. Hey, I ain't gonna underestimate the devil, you know what I'm saying? But the devil ain't, if you got somebody who really trying to walk with God. Now sometimes people need deliverance and stuff too though, you know what I mean? Like sometimes people need deliverance and stuff like that, and you dealing with a person that got a devil, you know what I'm saying? Then, you know what I'm saying, that person, you know what I'm saying, a person is really demonically influenced or something like that, then, you know, you're going to have trouble. So you need somebody with a certain level of stability in their mind, a certain level of stability in their life, because you can't build on unstable ground. You can't build nothing on an unstable ground. So a person got to have a certain level of mental stability and just stability in life, period. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got to, yeah. You got to have a certain level of stability in life. You know what I'm saying? And compatibility. Um yeah. You know, but the devil, he wars against relationships. When you really got in deep with a person and the potential for marriage and stuff is there, The devil gonna war against it. But anything that's of God is not gonna be overcome by the devil. You know what I'm saying? Anything that's of God, it might take a setback, it might take a delay, you know what I'm saying, but it's not gonna stop it. You know, the devil might fight against it. You might take a setback, but the devil ain't gonna overcome nothing that's of God. But at the same time, you know, the devil will war against it. So you need a person that knows how to fight through warfare. You know what I'm saying? Knows how to fight through attacks, know how to pray. Because prayer is required. A relationship, especially when you're trying to serve God, a relationship, it don't just flow on automatic. You know, you got to really put prayer into it. You got to really, you know what I'm saying, cover yourselves, cover the relationship, especially the man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times it's the women doing the spiritual stuff. You know what I'm saying? But the men got to be spiritual too. If one person, even if they're a believer in Christ, what kind of relationship do they really have? Do they really plug in with God? You know what I'm saying, on a regular basis, if not daily, you know what I'm saying, do they really plug in with God? And sometimes your time with God is on the go. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you ain't got that dedicated time. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's on the go. But if you a Christian, the person that you with and yourself, you got to really plug in with God on behalf of that relationship. Because you really, if you really trying to serve God, you really living by faith. You don't want somebody that God did not ordain for you. You don't want somebody that God does not approve of for you. But if you have a person that God done approve for you, you still got to put in work. You still got to pray. You still got to cover it. It's still warfare gonna come against it. But at the same time, some people just scared. You know, they worried about this and that and bloodline and generation. The thing about relationships though too, yeah, I'm just finna flow. I got my stuff right here, but I'm just finna flow. If you scared, then just leave it alone. Cause the thing about relationships, there's always a little bit of risk. There's always a little bit of risk. And then God don't just, when you meet a stranger, God don't, now it's happened before, but I would say that it's rare. And you really don't know a person and God just be like, that's your husband or that's your wife. That's rare. That don't happen a lot. You know what I'm saying? And even if God does do that, you still got to take the time to get to know the person. You know what I mean? But you have to deal with a person. You have to spend time. You have to get to know a person. And you don't know. And you have to pray and talk to God. You know what I'm saying? But there's no guarantee that you're not gonna get your heart broke. There's no guarantee that you're not gonna get cheated on. There's no guarantee that a person, I ain't saying they're gonna take advantage of you, but they might try. They might try to play you. They might try to take advantage of you. They might try to use you or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know till you really get to functioning with a person and really get to know them. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you gotta play the game. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, if you scared though, just leave it alone. Just sit on the bench. You know what I'm saying? Cause even when you got a good thing going with a person can switch up. People can backslide. People that was walking a good walk, they can become demonically influenced and go backwards and go left. You know what I'm saying? You don't know. You know what I'm saying? And then I got to the point where I was asking God for foreknowledge. Like, you know, God know what's going to happen in the future. You know what I mean? So I got to the point where I was asking God for foreknowledge. You know, show me what's going to happen. And God never gave me foreknowledge. And I believe that he showed me the reason I don't give you foreknowledge is because it's what you make it. You know, so I'm a pretty good judge of character. If somebody just a totally bad person, then they not finna get close to me. But most people, they are good and bad. You know what I'm saying? They have the potential for good. But you know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm saying, if you not working with a person and respecting a person and doing what you can do to make it work, then the bad can come out. You know what I'm saying? But most people have the potential for good, you know what I mean? But when a relationship is under pressure and people get to feeling disrespected, you know what I'm saying, the relationship can go bad real quick, even though you dealing with, you know what I'm saying, basically fairly good people, you know what I mean? Uh yeah. 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 Yeah, you got to put your work in though, because if God just shows you, oh, this relationship is gonna work out perfect, well, shoot, you'll get to thinking, if God shows you that your relationship is gonna be blessed and it's gonna be great, well, shoot, you might not pray for the relationship like you need to. You might not respect the relationship the way you need to because you feel like it's gonna turn out good regardless. So I don't really have to try that hard. The person I'm in relationship got some complaints with me, but I'm not really even focused on fixing it because God showed me that it's gonna end up great. You know what I'm saying? Like, or if God shows you, well, this relationship is gonna end up bad, well, then you just gonna give up on it instead of trying to make it work. But God never gave me foreknowledge. But the reason I think is because a relationship, a lot of times, is what you make it. Now, sometimes, but I think it's rare, you can end up with just a bad person. No matter what you do to make it work, it's still going to be a failed relationship. But that's rare. Most of the time, it's the work that you're willing to put in. You know what I'm saying? If you put in the work on your end, and they put in the work on their end, then it can be a blessed relationship. I don't think any relationship I've been in, it was possible to make it work. You know what I'm saying? I look at my marriage, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was things that I didn't do on my part. But I ain't gonna lie, I felt like if I'm serving God and I'm being faithful, then I felt like I did my part. I wasn't worried about finances. I was so spiritual that a lot of the natural things I overlooked. I was blind. I was blind. Like, I felt like as long as I'm serving God, and my relationship with God was airtight. You know what I'm saying? But I was still blind to some things in the natural though. My relationship with God was airtight, and what else? And I was faithful. I didn't have no issues with other women. Uh so then I felt like, hey, I felt like I was doing my part. But my wife had some complaints, and I was just like, I was disregarding her. Like, I ain't worried about none of that. I wasn't worried about housing. I wasn't worried about finances. I wasn't worried about none of that. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't doing my part. You know what I'm saying? If that's what she expect, then I need to at least work on it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna expect you to make nothing happen overnight, but you need to at least commit to working on it and come to an agreement or something. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, forget what you talking about. You know what I'm saying? And it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? But I was out of pocket on my end, but I didn't see it like that. And then I know that if one person is disrespecting the relationship and they just ain't trying to hear what the other person's saying, that other person gonna start disrespecting the relationship, but it might be in a different kind of way. You know what I mean? So I learned that. And I learned that in the relationship I'm in now. You know what I'm saying? With that flirting and stuff like that. I felt like it was harmless. Like, nah, I'm gonna do what I do. I'm not cheating on you, so don't trip. But you know what I mean? So then the door can come open. Your lady feel like, oh, that's how you gonna play? Well, shoot, I'm a play the same way. You know what I'm saying? And then you feel like she out of pocket, and you just cut it off. She might be the type where you out of pocket, but I'm gonna stay in the relationship, but I'm gonna start disrespecting the relationship a little bit. And then once I feel disrespected in the relationship, I'm just gonna cut it off. But that's really not right. You really have to start all the way over and make sure I respect the relationship on my end and she do the same. But when you have an issue, you have to talk, you got to communicate, you got to come to a resolution. And when you come up with a game plan, you got to put it in action. It can't just be words. You know what I'm saying? But that's kind of my situation. You know what I mean? But you got to respect that relationship, man. When somebody feel disrespected, it's going to go downhill. Whether a person just in the relationship or whether a person stay in the relationship, but they not going to give you the same level of respect because they feel like you disrespecting them. And then when they try to talk to you, you ain't trying to hear what they saying. Or when you try to, or vice versa. So that's one of the coldest pieces of game I learned in relationship. Like, even if you don't feel like it's disrespecting the relationship, if they feel disrespected, then you need to, you really need to think about that and fix that. You know what I mean? And fix that. Yeah, you have to be understanding of one another. I think in First Peter 3, he said the husbands have to dwell with their wives. I think he said something about according to knowledge. Give me First Peter 3. Give me First Peter 3. Right here. First Peter 3, verse 7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife, as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life. That your prayers be not hindered. But I'm focused on the part where he said, I ain't gonna talk about the weaker vessel. Physically weaker, and I'm just gonna say physically weaker. I think normally though, men are mentally stronger too, because pressure will break down a woman before it'll break down a man. But you got plenty men that'll fold under pressure, and the woman be the one to stand. Because really, if you look at families and houses and homes, it's the woman that's really the backbone holding it together. So I'm just gonna say physically weaker normally. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even gonna say mentally or emotionally, because a lot of women be holding it down when the men going cuckoo. And another thing about relationships, uh I ain't gonna say that. When it come to relationships, man, everybody ain't gonna deal with your mess and your flaws. You know what I'm saying? You gotta stay down with the one that really cut for you. The one that really cut for hey, the one that really cut for you, they gonna deal with you and when your mind tripping and you skitzing and your issues come out. A person that's down with you, they gonna try to work with you and try to deal with you even though you a mess. You know what I'm saying? That they still gonna try to work it out with you instead of just, you know what I mean? So you gotta rock with the one that really cut for you. I'm just gonna throw that out there. You know what I'm saying? You gotta rock with the one that's really down for you. Cause when you on the mountaintop and you got it all together, you know what I'm saying? You looking good to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? When you doing good, you looking good to a lot of people. But it's only, you know what I'm saying, all them females are that you looking good to, and vice versa. Same for the women. You know what I'm saying? When you doing good, you looking good to a lot of people, but all them people ain't gonna rock with you, you know what I'm saying, when you really going through it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, when you really going through it and you reacting in a weird kind of way, and you got stuff going on in your mind, and your behavior is kind of off, and you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, and you difficult to deal with. You going through some difficult stuff, and you difficult to deal with as a person. Hey, it's only a few that's really gonna rock with you. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference between the ones that want you, you know what I'm saying, when everything is peaceful and fine and good, and the ones that's really gonna ride with you, you know what I'm saying, when you want some difficult stuff. and going through some difficulties in your mind and in your life and in your behavior. And so, hey, just think about that too. You really got to rock with the one that's really down with you. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody that's attracted to you is not really down with you, especially, you know what I'm saying, when you're going through difficulties. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that's attracted to you is not really down with you. You know what I'm saying? They not going to be down with you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. All that kind of stuff. I may not even touch on all the stuff I was saying, man. But the warfare is real though. You know what I'm saying? You gotta pray for your relationship. Pray for your partner. Pray for your spouse. Pray for your fiance. You know what I'm saying? Pray for y'all relationship. You know what I'm saying? Cause the enemy, anything that God approves of, the enemy gonna fight against it. I mean, that just make perfect sense. You know what I'm saying? The enemy gonna fight against it. But I ain't worried about all these. I don't want to like I respect the devil, and what I mean by that is I respect the warfare that he bring, cause he'll bring some heat. You know what I'm saying? He'll bring some pressure. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you don't want to give him more credit than what he deserved, though. He ain't got all power. He not more powerful than God. And he really can't shut down nothing that God establishes. But the people of God have to do their part in plugging into God to cover it and to push back the warfare. You know, because some people be worried about every little demon, every little devil, and some people just scared. You know what I mean? If you scared, just take a seat. Just sit on the sideline, man. Relationships ain't for you if you scared. You don't know what you're going to go through with that person. You know what I mean? You don't know what y'all going to come up against. You don't know how y'all going to get into it with each other. But even as a couple that's unified, you don't know what you're going to come up against as a unified couple. What's going to come against y'all relationship. It's a lot of unknown stuff when it comes to relationships. You know what I mean? But the outcome is determined by the work you put in. Like I said, it's some people that they so evil and wicked, no matter what you do to make the relationship work, they still gonna crash it out. It's some people like that, but most people is not like that. You just have to get an understanding and find out if y'all compatible. And then if y'all happen to be compatible, you can have a good if you happen to be compatible, spiritually compatible, and the other areas where it's important. If y'all happen to be spiritually compatible, I mean, not just spiritually compatible, but if you happen to be compatible in all the areas you need to be compatible to have a functional, peaceful relationship, then the relationship can work. But it depends on the work that you put in. Because if you're not respecting one another and doing what you need to do to resolve conflict when one person got an issue and you not doing what you need to do to resolve conflict, then the relationship ain't gonna work. But it can if you willing to put in the work and you love each other like you supposed to and you respect each other like you supposed to. You know what I'm saying? But we get caught up in ourselves. I want it this way. This what it gotta be. And then this leads me to a subject, the pride level in a relationship, because everybody got pride. All pride is not bad. When I'm talking about pride, I mean just your level. I don't mean pride like you think you're something without God. I don't mean pride like you think you better than somebody else. I just mean pride like your level of self-respect. Like I have pride in myself. Like that's your level of self-respect. But it can get to a sinful level though. You know what I mean? So pride it plays a big part in how you function in a relationship because it don't revolve around one person. Now a man is the leader, according to the word. You know what I mean? A man is the leader, but even if you're a leader, you have to respect the people that you lead. And it's not, even though I'm the leader, it ain't just about me and what I want. You have to have respect for the one that's following you. You have to have respect, and that go for any situation. You could be a CEO. but you still got to have respect for your employees. You know what I'm saying? Make it a place where your employees like working for you. Just like in the Bible, you see the kings. I think it's a something we was reading in Solomon's son, his son Rehoboam. You know, he got counsel from the old men that stood with Solomon. He got counsel from them, and then he got counsel from the young men that he came up with. The old men told him, you need to make the burden of the people lighter. Serve them and they gonna serve you. And then the young men was like, nah, add to the burden. Tell them it's gonna be your way. You know what I'm saying? Basically, you going he said, my father chastised you with whips, I'm gonna chastise you with scorpions. So better, in other words, what he was saying is, I'm gonna make it even harder on you. I'm gonna put an even heavier burden on you. And he took the advice of the young men that really didn't care, really didn't have wisdom. And then the people turned on him, and the kingdom ended up being split. You know what I mean? But the point is, even though there's people serving you or following you, you need to serve them too. You know what I'm saying? You need to do right by them too. You know what I'm saying? You got to look out, take care of, serve the ones that serving you. You know what I'm saying? Then you serving one another, because a relationship work better, even though one person might have a higher position than the other person, right? One is the leader, but you still got to serve one another, and it make it a more healthy relationship. Just because you the lead, you still need to listen to your partner. You know what I'm saying? Listen to your spouse. See, I'm just giving you what God gave me. I still got a long way to go. All I know is what God give me. You know what I'm saying? And he always add to it. If you walk with God, he gonna always give you more and more. So I don't claim to know everything. And then a lot of time it ain't what you know, it's what you put in action. Cause you can have all that relationship game, but in the heat of the moment, if you not trying to work with your partner, and you just on some it's my way, then you can have all that game, all that wisdom, but if you pushing a hard line, it's my way, bump what you talking about, then you get straight up into that disrespecting the relationship type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't too many women, man, you finna disrespect them, and they not gonna start disrespecting you. And a woman, she just a little bit more subtle, a little bit more sneaky, a little bit more cunning with it. But once once you start disrespecting, she gonna disrespect. You just might not know nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? So, but if you got a good woman and you doing her right, she gonna do you right. If you got a good one, you know what I mean. And most women are good ones. I think most women are good women, and most men are good men. You know what I'm saying? But you got to know how to function in a relationship, though, because like I said, once the disrespect come in, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be reciprocated. I don't care how spiritual a person is, people still human. Don't nobody like being disrespected, especially once they done tried to plead their case, and this is the problem I have, and you ain't finna do nothing about it. Well, you finna get that back. You know what I mean? Yeah, you finna get that back. God gave me some other stuff, man, but I think I'm just gonna try to keep this an hour. It's just some relationship game, man. What God really been showing me. I had some. He spoke to me about some other things, but I'm gonna say that for another time. Um, yeah, being solid, you pretty much gonna get back what you put in if you a good judge of character, and it don't take long for people character to come out. You ain't got to test people. I know a lot of people in relationships, they want to try to test somebody, but what you call testing somebody is really disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to meet somebody somewhere and you don't show up. Well, I'm testing them. Well, that's actually disrespectful. That's actually disrespectful. What is you talking about? Um, some people might go for that, you know what I mean? But nah, everybody ain't finna go for that. You know what I mean? That's this. Some stuff is disrespectful. You ain't got to test a person. You just got to watch a person. You ain't got to test them. You just got to watch them and see how they handle situations in life. Because life will test you. You just gotta watch them when life is testing them and see how they act. That's for male, that's for female. You ain't gotta test your woman. I'm gonna get my homeboy to try to holler at her and and you tell me what she say. Now you ain't got to do that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? You just watch them. You just watch the person. You ain't got to try to run schemes to try to test a person, because you trying to send your homeboy to holler at the chick, and she might reject your homeboy and you think she faithful, but then another dude that you don't know got your chick. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you running these games trying to test, but it's really disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? And women got their little tests and stuff too. Oh, you want to leave $20 out and see if the man steal your money? You know what I'm saying? But he not going for the little $20. But 6 months in a relationship, he got your bank number. He done ran off with your ATM card and cleared your account. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't fall for the $20 test, huh? But when he found out you got income tax, had 2,000 in your account, he ran off with all that. Now I'm clowning, but the point is, you don't have to test a person. You know what I'm saying? You just have to watch them, because life will test a person, and you just see how they react and respond to them tests in life. And their character and true colors gonna come out and all that. And you gotta pray. Pray for God to reveal this person. When you're thinking about getting serious with somebody and all that, just pray for God to show you what you need to see. Prayer is the key. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, the enemy gonna war against any relationship that's approved by God. You just gotta pray and cover that thing. You know what I mean? And if he leads you to do any kind of specific, specialized warfare, then you can do that. But the main thing is prayer. You ain't got to worry about. I don't really believe in generational curses. I believe in patternized warfare, though. I believe in pattern warfare, because if the enemy tried it on the dad and it worked on the dad, then why not try it on the son, especially the firstborn? Because a lot of times the warfare from a lot of time the mom's warfare is going to come down on that firstborn daughter. A lot of time the father's warfare is going to come down heavy on that firstborn son. You know what I'm saying? I've seen that in life. You know what I'm saying? But I don't believe in generational curses, but I believe in patternized warfare. If the devil was running this, if he was running this play on the father and it got him in bondage, then why not try the same thing on the son? If the devil had the mom in bondage to this or bondage to that, then why not try the same thing with the daughter? You know what I mean? So I believe in patternized warfare, but I don't believe in generational curses. Once you in Christ, I believe the curse is broke. You're not, because when you talk about a curse, you talking about something that you can't do nothing about. I got this curse on me. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But now, once you in Christ, you're not subject to what the devil trying to do. You know what I'm saying? You've been set free, but you got to know how to war. Psalm 144 said, he teach my hands to war and my fingers to fight. You just got to know how to war, because you can be saved and the enemy still going to come at you. He going to come at you probably a little bit harder once you come into Christ. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he going to run the same schemes that he ran on the parents. If the parents never got married, or they had a failed marriage, then he gonna do the same thing with he gonna try to, I broke up that marriage, I'm gonna try to break up the daughter marriage, I'm gonna try to break up the son marriage. You know what I'm saying? He gonna try the same games, especially if it worked on the parent, then he gonna try it on the kids. That's just demonic common sense. You know what I mean? But now you're not subject to the devil's warfare. He gonna try you, but he don't have to succeed. You know what I'm saying? He tried Jesus, so you think he ain't gonna try you? But nah, I ain't worried about all that generational curses, and you can be set free in Christ. It's just a matter of growing and developing spiritually and learning the devil and how he gonna come You know what I mean? And then if the old stuff that worked on the parents don't work on you, he'll come up with some new stuff. He ain't gonna never stop trying until he really dealt with for eternity. But as long as he's in existence, then he gonna try people, Christian or not, especially Christians, because he don't want you to get what God have for you. He don't want the promises of God to be manifested in your life. But nah, we ain't worried about generational curses and all that. Even in the Old Testament, if you really study it, it's in Exodus. I know it's in Exodus 34. I think it's in Exodus 21. It's somewhere in Deuteronomy. But it's watch this. He said, I can't think of what I'm gonna go on to Exodus 24, Exodus 34, but check this out though. And then I'm gonna take you to Exodus 21. I'm gonna show you something. And this is the old covenant. Because under the new covenant, we know that we set free from the curse. Galatians chapter 3. But even in the old covenant, see, one thing I learned, I was gonna try to keep it an hour. I'm finna go a little bit more though. Hold up.